I think a lot of people underestimate how much things can change in a week, in a month, in a year, just in any period of time, especially short periods of time. I think people underestimate that. And I feel like a lot of us get entirely way too comfortable to the point where it starts to negatively affect us in our mental states and things like that because we become accustomed to certain things. And when certain things change in a drastic manner, it kind of throws us all the way off. Most people would look at my subscriber count now, they would look at what I've done now, and they would probably think a year ago today I was still doing something similar, but I wasn't, or at least I wasn't in the same mind state. A year ago today, I had my first off day from my job as a dishwasher. I had worked 2 days, the 28th and the 29th, and then I had a day off, the 30th. On this day, I also met my ex-girlfriend. This was our anniversary. 0430 is still the password on my electric scooter. It's just a very heavy day for me, but it hasn't been affecting me negatively. It was very inspirational. I'm not gonna lie, I dreaded this day for a long time. On the negative side of it. And once upon a time, I really looked forward to this day to celebrate. But that was just, a year ago. Around this time last year, I had also started self-improvement content on my original channel, and everything was going good. I had a good little bit of success. I had posted a few videos, got some good feedback. People were telling me to keep going. But 2 weeks from now, last year, um, I stopped making self-improvement content. I recorded my last video on May the 14th, and I stopped posting because of those reasons that I always spoke about. My girlfriend was kind of insecure about the whole social media thing and the attention from it, and to show her that she was more important to me than that, I just stopped it all the way through. And I don't regret anything because I learned from all those situations. But if I could do it over again, um, I wouldn't have did it that way. You know, in the sense of just quitting, I would have found a way to work through it, or set those things straight. Everybody don't get their way, and just because something is upsetting you for a certain reason don't mean it's bad. It's different ways to work around certain things. But like I said, I don't regret it. But I chose to do that. It was my decision. And throughout the relationship, I didn't create content, um, and that affected me in the long run, which was cool because I learned from it. But after things were over, I started to make content again. I had that same plan. I had that same vision. Those visions and the thoughts of what I wanted were so vivid, just like they once were. And I finally started to execute on those things. I started to see a little success, and I knew it was coming, and it happened just like that. But it took me taking action and being consistent and pursuing the goals that I wanted. The system that I had built for myself after all of that, it was meant for me to be in this position now. And I don't want people to listen to this story and get discouraged and think, well, I've been working hard for 5 years. Why haven't I seen my big break? Why am I not successful? You already are successful. But you won't get to the point that you want to be until you believe that you already have it. Life is late. We have everything we want in life. Life just has to catch up. I've been preaching this for a long time. I already knew I was gonna have all of this. Here I am, 9 hours away from where I stay. I'm in San Antonio right now. I'm 9 hours away from home. I'm sitting in the park, sitting in the grass, reminiscing about the past, but in the sense of learning from it, not longing for it, not desiring for what I had in the past. It's just crazy how much things can change. But if I would have stayed in that mindset and I would have kept being so attached to what I had in the past, I wouldn't be here right now. And I'm not talking about in front of this camera. I'm not talking about in this park making this video. I'm talking about here. I wouldn't be in the mind space that I am, that I am in right now. And this mindset that I have, this wind is blowing like crazy. I hope it's not too crazy. But the mindset that I am in right now, I just cannot fail. I can't afford to fail. The systems that I've put in place to get where I am now, they just won't allow me to fail. I've seen a lot. I've learned a lot in the last year. I've learned more in the last year than I've learned in my entire life. when it comes to relationships, when it comes to people, when it comes to building things. I've just learned a lot. But it was because I became a sponge. I was always a sponge. I always liked learning. I always analyzed things. But last year was just different. And my philosophy is that it's a new year every day. But I'm not an extremist either. If you tell me what was last year, what happened last year, I'm not gonna say, "Oh, you talking about yesterday." I'm not that guy. But it's just crazy, man. You gotta be ready though. You gotta be ready for these changes because things can happen like that. We take a lot of things for granted. We don't really talk to our loved ones enough. We don't talk to the people we care about enough. We think we're gonna have them forever, but they could literally be gone today. They could be literally gone tomorrow. That big break you're waiting for. You could have an opportunity come today. You could have one come tomorrow. You could have one come 10 years from now. But you got to be ready for it. Because if you keep missing out on your opportunities and you keep pointing fingers and you keep blaming people, then you'll never be successful. You'll never get to where you want to be. You have to take your situations and make the best out of any of them. And everything is not going to go the way you want it to. But there's something to learn. There's something to gain from everything. But last year, man, I just gained that perspective of how fast things can change. You can literally go from seeing a person every day and devoting your entire life to them, from doing that to acting like you don't even know them. You know what I mean? You could go from working at your side hustle and really grinding it out and being unhappy and unsatisfied, and then a year later be living your dream life. It's totally different, man. 2 years ago, in this week, I was in Texas again. I had just quit Sam's Club for the first time. I went on me a little venture. I was in Texas. I said, I'm gonna take social media serious. This is gonna be my life. I'm never going back to work. Well, I didn't take social media serious. I didn't take my opportunity serious. I had saved up a lot of money. I had bought my equipment. I was traveling. I was doing stuff, and I had a great time. I learned a lot, and I needed that. But with all that time, I didn't take social media serious, and I got comfortable. And eventually, I just spent way more money than I was bringing in, and I started going broke. And that's what led me to last year, doing my background acting and things like that. That's what led me up into working as a dishwasher. And then after working as a dishwasher for a while, I noticed that my pride and my ego wouldn't allow me to go back to my old job. And I was taking a $2 an hour pay cut. I was making $13 an hour, plus some crazy finesse taxes in that restaurant. So I literally made nothing from walk-ons. With the amount of money I was spending going back and forth to see my girlfriend, I made nothing. I lost $3,000. I had gained $8,000 the time I spent at walk-ons, and I spent $11,000 just taking her places, buying her stuff, making sure she had a great time. And the gas money I was spending every week just going to see her, I made nothing. I lost $3,000. And I noticed, I was like, man, my pride and my ego is literally leading to my own demise, just because I don't want to go back to that place, because I said, I'm never going back to Sam's Club. I'm never going back to work. So I didn't want to do that. But every day I'm going into that restaurant, I'm literally looking across the parking lot at my old job, just seeing all the money that I'm letting go because of my pride and my ego. So after a while, after going through some stuff, I'm like, man, I got to get some more money, because, at the time I was trying to get an apartment for me and my girl, because the family was getting ready to move away and they was just going to bring her along with her. So I was trying to get an apartment, but I didn't have the funds. I was even willing to go work in a sweat shack, for more money. It was going to be crazy. It would have definitely destroyed my mental health, but I was willing to do it just in that short amount of time to get that money, to save her from her situation. Well, I tried and I tried and I tried, and eventually I was like, man, I got to go get back. I got to go get my old job. That sweat shack didn't ever hit me back when I sent in the applications. But I talked to one of my old managers. She was real cool, and I got that job back. And after 2 weeks, I instantly seen my money started going up, because for one, I had to spend more time at that job, so that was less time with my girlfriend. But I told her, I was like, the less we see each other right now is the more time we get to share in the long run. So just bear with me, like I'm trying, but I tried, and to no avail. It didn't work on that end. And I stressed the social media thing. I was like, man, if I do this, I know I can save us. Like with the plan and the vision I have, I know we'll be all right. But this 9 to 5, this is not what's gonna save us. But she just couldn't see it through. And it's all good. But it's just crazy, man, because a year later, or a few months. It really, it hasn't been that long since it's all died down. But literally now I'm in a position. I bought, one of my dream cars. I can afford an apartment if I want one right now. Along on top of my dream car, I can afford to travel. Like, I can do whatever I want now. And it sucks because you build these things and you have a motivation to get these things to share with a person. It's like, man, yeah, it is cool. I do have everything I want in life, and I'm gaining everything I want in life, but I don't have it with you. You know what I'm saying? I built all these things because I wanted to share them with you, and now you're not even here. But that's not the mindset that I'm thinking from. I'm free from that. But it's just crazy how those things can change. That's the point I'm trying to make. This was my dream. This is my dream. The motivation behind these things comes from me, and I put in the work, but I wanted to share that with a person. And I have shared it, with my peers and things like that, and I still have those people around me. Parts of my family, they still around me. But it's just crazy, man. I reiterate, it's just crazy how much things really change. And if you don't think so, for a week, for a month, for a year, I want you to write down your plan, write down your system, do everything it takes for you to get what you want. I want you to do that for a year, and you watch how things change. All that energy you give to people that don't deserve it, start giving it to yourself. All the times you reach out to people and they don't reach out to you, keep all that within yourself. All the times you be telling people about your plans and you don't do it, reverse that. Don't tell nobody about what you're doing and you just do it. Just grind in the shadows. Let your results come out. Let your results be the light. You know what I'm saying? Your results gonna be the stars. Stars don't shine unless the sun is down. And the sun is a star. It's just a very big one. Stars need darkness to shine. So you take the time. You get on the back burner. You don't need to be out in public. You don't need to do nothing. Just grind, 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 grind. But don't lose yourself in the grind. Too many people get lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? The grind is just not, it's within you. The grind is you manifesting your destiny. The grind is you manifesting all those thoughts and all your aspirations. This is not some activity you participate in. It's just you being you to the fullest and you achieving everything you want to do by harnessing the power that's inside of you. And that's all I've been doing for the last few months. That's all I've been doing since September when I started. September I wasn't really consistent doing this. October I really wasn't consistent doing it. I think I might have dropped one video in September, 2 videos in October, a bunch of shorts in October. But when November came, I was locked in. I had all the motivation in the world. I had invested into the Heartbreak cryptocurrency market. I dropped in all my little coins into that, and I used that to be my superpower. And now I have everything I want. And everything I ever wanted was just peace and freedom. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about my dream car. It wasn't about me being able to do this and doing that. Yes, I like to travel, and these things make me feel more free. These things bring me peace. I'm essentially just a kid with toys. That's all we are. You never grow up. But I'm just at peace, man, and that is something you can't buy. That is something that has no price tag. It's invaluable. You just can't put a price tag on it. So I say all that to say, trust the process. Stay consistent. Stay on your path. Stay focused. Don't let people distract you. Don't let people knock you off your grind. Don't let people, disturb your peace. Put yourself first. Fill your cup first. And be consistent at it. And if you do all those things, I guarantee you it won't take long. Many people can testify. It will not take long. Now, if you sit there and count the days, of course it's going to take long. When you was in school and you watched the clock, of course the hours pass by. Don't count the days, make the days count. Time gonna keep going regardless, whether you do nothing, whether you do something, whether you do good, whether you do bad, time gonna keep going. But you gotta make the most of your time, and you gotta do what you do to the best of your ability, and that's all you can do. And until then, keep your head down, stay at peace, my friend. 0430. Remarkable day in history, man. Remarkable day in history. But I love y'all. Always wish y'all the best. Peace and blessings. I'm ready to see you change. So let's do it.